evening, everyone. My name is Tatum, and this is Guardian Voice of the Missing Weekly Podcast. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's been a very busy week for me. Just keeping busy and trying to get information out. I'm currently trying to work on my platform, update flyers. So I know I have families out here that I've covered their loved ones' cases before. So I'm working on updating any of their flyers and getting new ones out for them, getting them back on the podcast as well. For anybody that is new here, because I do know that I have several new families that would be here tonight. Again, I always ask people, please be polite, be respectful, because we do have loved ones that are on here. And I want this to be a place that people can communicate, they can talk. It's a safe environment for everyone. Also to give out some resources of some really great advocates that are out there that I network with, to give more resources for you guys as well. But most importantly, it's just to be respectful, but also to give families a chance that they can interact with each other and ask questions and stuff like that, because we do have families on here that have had missing people for several years, and then some that are more recently. So again, like I said, please be respectful. If you're not respectful, I will immediately ban you off of my platform, because I just have no tolerance for it. So if you're here, you can let me know. Just know if you're in the group, I might not know who it is, so I may ask. If you're watching from the page, I should be able to see who it is. If there's any families out there that want to comment on anything, share anything, that is up to you. But you're more than welcome to. And then other families, if you want to, send any comments or stuff with some advice or support, I encourage that. I'm all about discussion and everything. But again, I just want people to be kind. We need to remember that we are not law enforcement. We're not a judge. We're not, in that and all, but healthy discussion is good as long as we are considerate of other people. Sometimes when we have these discussions and everything, it might jolt something like a memory or something that you hadn't thought of in your loved one's case. And that's what this is all about. It is important. So I'm going to look at the comments real quick to see. Hi, Ellen. It is good for you to be here. Ellen is a great support for the missing. I will tell you that. Just with her own personal missing person loved one that she has, she still supports all families out there and shares everything. Hi, Allison. Allison is with Daily Missing Persons Alerts or Missing Persons Alerts nationwide. For the families or loved ones or anybody out there, that is another really great platform that I admin with, and I work with Allison daily. And she has a page in all 50 states. Each has their own page plus additional pages out there. So definitely, that's a great area for you to share and be on, or you can send messages and stuff. And we work on helping you guys out. Allison, you're welcome. That's what I'm trying to do. Hi, Saoirse. Saoirse is another really great advocate. She handles a lot of cases out in Washington, Oregon, Idaho. She has a team page, but she also helps Allison with daily missing persons alerts as well. Hi, Kathy. How are you doing? And are there any updates on your loved one? So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Like I said, feel free to comment. I do have Saoirse. Usually Saoirse and Allison, they're going to be hashtagging and stuff, which is very helpful, and people getting to see your guys' cases and stuff like that. So that'll be in the comments. I'm not going to pop those up on the screen because they're pretty quick and fast and stuff, but I'll definitely try to get your comments up there. Allison told Saoirse, hi. I'm glad to see that you're doing good, Kathy. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Okay. Yep. I am going to cover Jared today. He is a new case that I am covering. He is definitely a case, just like a lot of the cases. I feel they could get so much more coverage. And I know his family has been very diligent and his loved ones on getting his information out there. So I'm going to start with a case that I cover every week. I will tell you, I have two cases that I definitely cover every week. One case, it is definitely for her children, is why I share her case every week, and her loved ones, to get that information out. But this case I'm sharing because someone came to me. I never heard of Rebecca Demery, and they wanted to get more information out on her. And so I've been working with the family, talking to law enforcement when I can get a chance to get a hold of them and everything. So this is Rebecca Demery. She does go by the name Becca. She's missing out of Odessa, Texas on March 1st, 2023. So she has been missing for a little over a year now. She was 32 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 34. 5'5", 190 pounds, brown hair, and hazel eyes. She does wear glasses, and she does have a mole on the left side of her neck. Now, Rebecca always wears that gold necklace and has both of her ears pierced, but she doesn't normally wear earrings, but she does have her tongue pierced. She has a history of seizures and had recently had one while in the hospital. She has a tattoo of that flower that you can see the picture of the flower on her left arm and a heart design on her right arm that you can see pictured there. She had last had contact, which she always had contact with her loved ones on a daily basis and throughout the day. She had last spoke to them on the phone February 28th of 2023, when she called to see if she could get a ride home from the hospital. Her loved ones were out of town and not able to come and pick her up. She was seen leaving the hospital with someone that day, and her loved ones had texted her on the next day on March 1st, and there has been no response from her. She has not been seen or heard from again. She was last seen wearing, as you can see pictured in that photo, with her sitting on the ground in the backpack with the arrow pointing to it. She was last seen wearing a long-sleeved gray shirt with that plaid hem, black pants, and gray athletic shoes with a white sole. She was carrying that black and teal backpack. She was last seen at approximately 3:50 a.m. in the morning in southeast Odessa. Foul play is suspected on her case. Now, the things that I can share about her case is Rebecca did not know people in Odessa. So there was a lot of rumors and different stuff that was going around that she had like a grandpa and family members there. That is not true. Concern is law enforcement has been very diligent. She does have several agencies that are working on her case. There is, I believe, a person of interest. I am not going to share that name at this point, but there are people that they are looking into on her disappearance. Like I said, foul play is suspected in her case. I know that there was a vehicle that had blood in it. It was confirmed to be hers, but we are still hopeful that Rebecca is out there and somebody knows something. I believe that somebody saw her that night at the motel. Someone saw her leaving the hospital. Something. There's people out there that know something. So if you have any information regarding Rebecca's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Odessa, Texas Police Department at 432-335-4609. Anybody out there, please continue to share her flyer, get it out there and everything. I know that her family will greatly, appreciate that. Because I know they are really struggling. The year anniversaries are really, really hard on families and stuff like that. Lisa, you're most welcome. Like I told you, I will continue to share Rebecca's case. I know today is a really hard day for you as well. So, feel free, you guys, to, post anything that's supportive. And, okay, I'm sorry. That's Gideon. I'm sorry. Post, anything that could be supportive to a loved one. I really encourage that for people to do, even underneath flyers and stuff like that. There's a lot of families out here that are really hurting, and the purpose of why I do what I do and the other advocates and people that I network with, we want to be there for you. I know I have several projects going on right now. One project that I've had several people come to me and ask me if I would do is maybe put up a support page for the families where the families can, share their cases. We could put tons more resources in there. We could set up a chat for you guys. I'm just trying to figure out how I can do that to make sure that it keeps all of you guys safe and your case is safe out there as well. But I've had several people asking me. Thank you, Tammy. She's sending prayers. And Sue, you're most welcome. You're most welcome. Like I said, I've met some really wonderful people out here, some really great families. The other thing I want to share on Rebecca's case, and I was so excited when her mom told me they have 4 billboards up in Texas for Rebecca. So if you see these, feel free to, take a picture, share them. I always think that's really good. If you're down in Odessa, Medford, Lisa, can you text all the places, all the cities that it's located? These signs are located for people. If you're out there, take a picture and share it. But I was very excited and very happy to hear that they did get a billboard out for Rebecca. Personally, if I could find someone, I think there should be running billboards of missing people all everywhere. That is something that I would really, really hope to get accomplished in the future. So if anybody has anybody out there that'd be willing to do that stuff, I know in South Dakota, they actually do have running billboards out there. Kathy is telling Tammy hi. And yep, I agree. Making that profile that private, I would definitely would do that and be screening people. Ellen says, this is Ellen. My heart goes out to all the families of the missing loved ones, and I understand what they're going through. I have a missing loved one that has been missing for 15 years. Yeah, Ellen, you are a soldier. She's amazing with what, and we are going to cover her loved one's case. I do cover her loved one's case every week. Ellen is a great support. She shares missing persons flyers, the unidentified flyers. She's, on a lot of pages and, sends all that stuff out. So I feel very blessed with the families that I've met and the stories that you guys have shared, because it takes a lot of strength to go through what you guys are going through. And I just want you guys to know that you are not alone. We are here to support you in any way that we can. Thank you, Ellen, for sharing that. This next case is a case out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is Andrew Robert Clarkson. He went missing on August 19th of 2023. He was 27 years old. He is now 28. 5'8", 170 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. He does maybe go by the name Drew Clarkson. He was last seen wearing a white hat, white shirt, and tan cargo shorts while he was traveling from Texas to Colorado by bus. It is believed that he got off the bus in Oklahoma City. He has not been seen or heard from since. If you have any information regarding Andrew's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Oklahoma City Police Department at 405-297-1129. This again is, I want to bring this up really quick as well. I always encourage people, no matter where you live, no matter where that person went missing, I always encourage people, go ahead and share it, because you never know who on your Facebook or your social platforms may see it and they may have a tip. Like in his case, he was traveling, across several states. Like I said, they believe that he got off the bus in Oklahoma, but he could be anywhere in those states. So I really think it's important that we get those shared, in Texas and the surrounding states. So that's just something that I always try to encourage people to do, because you never know who's on your social media platform and who might have a tip that's out there. Okay, so Becca's mom came back, and it's in Seminole, Midland, Odessa, and Hobbs, Texas is where those platforms are, or the billboards are. And hi, Troy. How are you doing? Yep, I'm trying to keep her going as well. Yes, Lisa, I did get it. All right. So the next one is another case out of Oklahoma. I do have several cases that got dropped into NamUs or updated in NamUs I'm covering tonight. This is Aiden Oaks. He's missing out of Norman, Oklahoma on May 9th, 2022. He was 17 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 18. He had short brown hair and he had a brown beard and a black eye at the time of his disappearance. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, black shorts, and running out of the Scissors Tail Point facility. If you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Cleveland County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 405-701-8888. This next case, I had a family member that is missing a family member out of the same area that got me acquainted with several cases, which I am really taking a more deep dive out in this area to cover a lot of cases. And I can go into that in a little while of what I'm talking about. So this is Chelsea Dawn Israel. She is missing from Garberville, California. She went missing on February 25th of 2018. She was 27 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 33, 5'8", 180 pounds. Now, I have seen some reports that she was 120 pounds. So people are debating that back and forth. This is what came off the NamUs website. There was someone that said that after she had had a child that she had gained some weight. Now, she has blonde strawberry hair and blue eyes. She may wear glasses. She does have her ears pierced and the tattoo Peyton on her right ankle. Chelsea was last seen wearing a black coat, blue jeans, a beanie hat, brown sneakers, earrings, and a gold bracelet with stones, and carrying a black purse at her home on the Redwood Drive in Garberville, California on February 25th, 2018. She left on foot between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., reporting that she was going to go visit her children. However, I could not find anything on whether or not she visited her children. She never returned home. She has never been seen or heard from again. If you have any information regarding Chelsea's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call Humboldt County, California Sheriff's Office at 705-445-7251. And I do believe that out in that area that there is somebody that knows something. I will tell you in Humboldt County right now, looking at NamUs, Humboldt County Sheriff has 67 missing persons. Now, when I say that, that's only what they have put into NamUs, and that does not include surrounding towns that are also in Humboldt County. I believe there's 10 more. It might be 10. So we're looking, and in California, there's 3,477 missing persons that are in NamUs. Now, do I think there's more missing persons out there in California? Absolutely. Are they in the NamUs database? No. But I will tell you that California is doing a little bit better getting those in. A lot of agencies are doing better at updating a lot of those missing persons cases and stuff. So to me, 67 for one agency to handle is a lot of cases. Not to mention that in Humboldt County, there's a documentary series that I want you guys to know about. It's called Murder Mountain. Now that is surrounding up, I believe, in the northern part affiliation, but a lot of these people that are missing out of Humboldt County have been surrounded about that. So I am looking at doing a podcast just covering those cases and giving more information about that area and stuff. I do have another area out in California that a lot of the people that are missing actually are acquainted. So if there's anybody out there that has cases that are like that, you know, that there's multiple cases, that you feel like things aren't getting covered, please let me know. If you're a family member that wants to do an individual case about your loved one, I'm more than willing to do those as well. I just really think a lot of these cases, and why I started doing this, was because these cases were not getting covered. So, like I said, if there's anybody out there that knows of any cases out in Humboldt County or the surrounding area, or families out there, please have them reach out to me. Like I said, I'm already in contact with several families and have been putting stuff up. So, just trying to get as much information out there as I can. This next case is another case out of Lawton, Oklahoma. This is John Wesley Pacheco. He is missing since July 12, 2023. He's 41 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 42. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He has a skull and an 8-ball tattoo on his left arm and an unfinished cross with Jesus on his back. It was reported that he was last seen at his residence. However, when the reporting party went back to talk to him, another person in the home told him that he had just left. He has not been seen or heard from since. There's very little information out on John's case. If you have any information regarding John's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Lawton, Oklahoma Police Department at 580-581-3270. This next case, I happened to come across when I was working on other flyers and doing cases, and it just really caught my eye about Isaac Eads, I believe is how you pronounce his name. If his loved ones are on here, please let me know if I said that correctly. So he went missing from Seattle, Washington on June 21st of 2023. He is 25 years old, 5'7", 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Now, he does have one of his middle fingers is missing due to it being amputated. And I believe it was amputated right below the knuckle. As you can see, there's that anchor tattoo. That anchor tattoo is still there on that middle finger. He does have multiple tattoos, as you can see, throughout his back, arms, chest. He has sleeves. So these are all the different pictures of the different tattoos that I have of Isaac's. Now, he went missing, like I said, from Seattle, Washington. However, he could be in the surrounding areas, including Pala, Northgate Mall, Everett, Washington. So if you have any information regarding Isaac's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call Seattle, Washington Police Department at 206-684-5582, or you can call the Washington State Police at 800-543-5678. And like I said, his case just caught my eye, and I hadn't seen a lot about it, and just wanted to get that out there as well. I know that there's been searches for him, and loved ones are still continuing to search for him. This next case is Billie Jean Robinson. He's missing out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma on August 28th of 2023. He was 46 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 47. 6'5", 185 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. He does have a roach tattoo on his left shoulder and a cow skull on his right chest. His family has not been able to be in contact with him and are worried that something has happened to him. There is little information on his case. If you have any information regarding Billie's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Tulsa or Oklahoma City Police Department at 918-596-9143. And if you guys give me just 1 minute, I need to pull something up. And like I said, if you guys look in those comments and everything, you'll see that Saoirse is hashtagging and everything for you guys. All right. Excuse me. This next case is another case out of Garberville, California. This is Luann Chloe Eller. She is 41 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 47. She is 5'3", 120 pounds, brown hair and blue eyes. Her hair at the time of her disappearance was shoulder length, and it was dyed more of an ash brown. She was last seen, excuse me, my allergies. She was last known to have been on the property off of Twin Trees Road in Bidbo area, where she was living for 2 years prior to her disappearance in June 15th, 2017. It is reported on July 11th, 2017, she had texted a loved one, and on July 25th, 2017, that her boyfriend at the time called her mother asking if she had seen her and that she had left the property over a week ago. Her brother said that she had left most of her property behind. It is reported that she may have hitchhiked to Whitehorn Construction and later to Shelter Grove. She has not been seen or heard from since. If you have any information regarding Leanne's disappearance or know her whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County, California Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251. All right, give me one moment. Okay, check these comments. Okay. All right, this next case. And I hope that I say this is Jared Michael McCulloch. I'm hoping I am saying his name right. He is missing out of Salem, Illinois on November 5th, 2023. He is 33 years old, 5'9", 175 pounds, blonde hair or strawberry colored, and blue eyes. He does have multiple tattoos on his arms, chest, and wrist, as you can see in those pictures. He was wearing a dog tag necklace that had fingerprints of his brother and his friend. The family is out here watching, which I know some of them are. If you guys have a picture of that dog tag necklace, can you send that to me? Because I think that would be a great thing to put out on his flyer. So Jared was last reported wearing that brown Carhartt jacket. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. I'm going to start over on his case. All right. Sorry about that, you guys. My mic went down. Okay. So back to Jared. Jared Michael McCulloch, I hope that I'm saying his name right. He went missing from Salem, Illinois on November 5th, 2023. He's 33 years old, 5'9", 175 pounds, blonde hair and strawberry eyes, or strawberry hair and blue eyes. He does have multiple tattoos, as you can see pictured there on his arms, chest, and wrist. And he was wearing a dog tag necklace that had fingerprints of his brother and a friend. I was asking if family does have a picture of that dog tag necklace. If they could get that to me, I think that would be really good to put on his flyer and get out there. He was last reported wearing that brown Carhartt jacket that you see in this picture. And he was also wearing faded blue jeans, a light blue shirt, and dark blue Skechers shoes, leaving his home in Marion, Louisiana, driving that white GMC Sierra four-door truck with the Louisiana plates, C is in Charles 838-681, heading to visit loved ones in Salem, Illinois. He did have both of his dogs with him, which I do have pictures of them as well. It is reported that he was last seen at 8:30 a.m. in Carmia, Illinois, at the Hux gas station, and previously had been seen at 1:30 a.m. in Salem, Illinois, in Central City, Illinois, at 5:30 a.m. at the Phillips 66 gas station on camera on November 5th, 2023. His truck was later located on November 6th of 2023 in a remote location across the Illinois-Indiana border near Vincennes, Indiana, and the Wabash River. Now, his truck was on the on position. It appeared to have eventually ran out of gas with the driver's side doors open. Personal items and his dogs were both inside. His phone last pinged in St. Francisville, Illinois, around 11 a.m. on November 5th. It is reported that he was supposed to meet up with his ex to have a visit with his child. His phone, wallet, and vape have not been recovered. He has had no phone or bank activity since. He has not been seen or heard from since. There is a reward that is being offered, and foul play is suspected. If you have any information regarding Jared's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Knox County, Indiana Sheriff's Office at 812-882-7660. And I'm just looking. Okay, Pamela, you will, oh, you can hear me. Okay. And it's Indiana. Okay, I could get that changed on the flyer as well. So there's a lot of information out there. The family does have a page set up for him as well. I always encourage everybody, if there's a page set up for a missing person, that's another really great way to keep abreast of the case, and also just, giving that support to the loved ones. Yeah, I heard that his mom does have his dogs. So his dogs have been located. The reason I put those out, a lot of people, I just want you guys to know, the reason I put out the details, even though his truck has been located, his dogs are located and back safe, you never know if someone will see this and it may spur something that they may have seen. They may have recognized the dogs, they may recognize the vehicle, they may recognize, their tattoos or, his Carhartt jacket. So I always like to keep that stuff out there, because you never know if someone, saw him that day and didn't realize, that he is now missing, and they may have information out there as well. Terry's saying Knox County hasn't done their job. I hear that a lot in a lot of cases where law enforcement is not doing stuff as well as they could possibly do. And there are some cases I'm sharing tonight that I just feel like law enforcement could do better. But I will tell you, I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement and stuff. And law enforcement, is ever changing, and there needs to be more. And there's a lot of advocates out here that we are really trying to push to make sure that with all the new changes in law enforcement and everything, that it will help. Saoirse is saying anybody who can reach out to the missing animal groups in those areas should ASAP. I think this is a really good something for families to know, especially if their loved one. There are so many cases out there that loved ones have went missing with their pets. And it's really good to reach out to missing animal groups in case like those animals have been located. Calling shelters in the area, sending them photos and stuff. Thank you, Saoirse, for sharing that. I think that's really important. And that's another good point. A lot of people will notice a dog before they'll notice a person or know that a person is missing. Terry says they're not looking hard enough. Amanda is saying, I feel the same with Ellie's lack of compassion or help. I definitely agree that a lot of law enforcement need a lot of training. And I will tell you that, a lot of law enforcement has a lot of turnover. They have a lot of people retiring and then new recruits coming in. And, that makes it really hard for them to, get all the training and understanding. I agree. I definitely think the dogs would notice. And then Allison says, I feel like law enforcement should be held to a higher standard. I agree. But like I said, I do work with several different law enforcement agencies. If someone contacts me on their case, I'm willing to contact law enforcement. If you feel like law enforcement is not pushing hard enough, there are some really good search teams out there as well. Just anything that you guys think that you might need, please reach out. We definitely want to, help. And sometimes with an advocate calling, sometimes with an advocate calling, it can maybe push stuff a little bit more. But also another piece that I want, because I have new families on here, is if you're having trouble contacting your detective or people on the case, get their email. Make sure you get their case number, the missing report case number. Make sure you get their email, because law enforcement has told me sometimes it's a little bit easier for them to talk to people back and forth, because if they are out looking or doing something, they can answer an email quicker as well. Saoirse was saying Tamara Pickens was last seen in Albany, Oregon. Did have her dog found after the winter months. After her car was found. Luckily, somebody recognized those missing dog posts, I guess. He has survived the winter, possibly on his own. But Tabby and her Jack Russell are still missing. Yeah, her case I shared last week about her and the fact that her dog made it 2 months out in the winter was just amazing. Now, whether someone had found her dog and then the dog got loose again, that's a possibility as well. But thank you, Saoirse, for sharing that. I think that's a really, really good point for families to know that, if there's dogs are missing too, those are areas that you look that may be helpful as well. Search more. I agree. There's a lot of cases that I don't understand. A lot of law enforcement don't have the resources. There's a lot of laws that searches can't go on with different search groups unless they get approval from law enforcement. All stuff that I know a lot of us advocates are really trying to work and get stuff as well. No updates for the community. Is that in regards to Jared's case? And then someone said, I don't believe he ever made it to Indiana. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense. That's my only opinion. Yeah, Jared's case is definitely an interesting case. I know I haven't shared everything that I've, seen or been told. So I don't know. That's the hardest part. There's a couple more cases I'm going to share today that we never know if the person ever made it to who they were going to see, which I find odd, especially when it's in regards to a child. My son is missing out of Bishop. They have one detective. I contacted Equal Search to see if they can have it. Yep. Texas Equal Search, they're really good. Tim Miller, he had a daughter that was missing, and unfortunately, I don't think he's ever found her yet. The last I knew. Time for the FBI to get involved. The simple fact that, and that's a possibility for Jared's family. The fact that there's state lines that have been crossed, I would definitely consider contacting the FBI. Anytime stuff goes across state lines and stuff, that definitely could be a possibility. And I always tell people, if you feel frustrated or whatever, there's no reason. I would contact the FBI. There's a lot of great agents that are out there. They will do what they can do, but you always have to remember a lot of times, they have to be invited. Now, there are certain situations and stuff that they can override that. But I agree. In Jared's case, I don't think it would hurt to reach out to the FBI. That's my personal opinion. If you have any questions or want to know who to contact in that area, I can let you know. And then Saoirse is coming back saying that's so sad that there's only one detective to handle all that workload. Just the workload for one person is probably overwhelming on top of runaways out there who come and go all year in most towns and cities. And the sad reality is a lot of times in a lot of these places, there's only one detective. And they don't have a missing persons unit like some cities do, that's all they focus on. So there's a lot of things. Smaller communities just don't have the man force to be able to put in tons and tons of time, into cases. And it's very, 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 very sad. They have turned down the FBI, the state police, and EchoSource. Okay. Don't get your hopes down. There may be ways to push that through. And I can talk to you about it a little bit more, Tammy. Definitely, a lot of families will go and rally, and stuff to push agencies and stuff. So a lot of cases do get turned down because law enforcement won't let other agencies in, which I think is ridiculous. I would want as much help as I could possibly to find, close out cases. So I wouldn't give up on that. I would continue to push, continue to talk to the FBI and stuff like that and see if they can push in there, or maybe at some point, maybe law enforcement will go ahead and approve it. Hang on a minute. That's not the right one. Let me see. I have 2 flyers on Mark. And I'm trying to see why one is not here. Okay. I will come back to Mark in just a moment. This next case is Perry Lee Smith. He's missing out of Dale City, Oklahoma on August 11th, 2023. He was 47 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 48, 5'11", 165 pounds. He has black hair and brown eyes. He did have a beard, but he could be clean shaven at this time. Very little information on his case. If you have any information regarding Perry's disappearance or his whereabouts, please call the Dale City, Oklahoma Police Department at 405-677-2443. This next case is Mackenzie Erlene Kayla Gaffney. She's missing out of Tulsa, Oklahoma on August 11th, 2023. She's 25 years old, 5'7", 150 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She does have a face piercing, as you can see. She was last seen in the area of Pine and Peoria in Tulsa, Oklahoma on August 11th, 2023. She has not been seen or heard from since. If you have any information regarding Mackenzie's death or disappearance or know her whereabouts, please call the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department at 918-596-9143. I will tell you there's some great advocates in the Oklahoma area who see me in OKC, and they're a really good advocate that is out there as well, covering cases. I don't know if she is on tonight, but if she is, we'll get that hashtagged up for you guys to be able to contact her as well. So this next case, I do have 2 to cover and let you guys see everything on Mark Charles Burley. I have 2 different things. So I'm going to cover this one first. He is missing out of Garberville, California in 2017 in October. The reason I have that is we're not real sure confirming the dates of when he was last seen. He was 32 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 39, 5'9" to 6 foot, 130 to 170 pounds, blonde strawberry hair, and blue eyes. He does have a 6 to 8 inch scar on his upper right arm, and he does have a broken chipped tooth. He does go by the nickname Burley. It is reported that Mark was last known to be living a transit lifestyle in Garberville area. His last contact to loved ones was by phone on October 15th, 2017. He said that he loved them and that he would call them back later. A friend had said that they had given him a ride to see his daughter, who lived around that area, with her mother around October 18th of 2017. However, for an unknown reason, he did not take him up all the way to the top of Elk Creek Road in the Dyerville Loop Road, where there is a split in the fork in the road. So that map is where I'm showing you, where you see that pin, that is where he was dropped off. For whatever reason, it is still unknown why his friend dropped him off there and didn't drop him off at his child's mom's property. We have no idea. That's definitely questions that would be great to have some answers. It also has been reported that another friend had traded shoes with Mark and stated that he dropped him off at Fields Landing, California, with his 4-foot Red Bull cooler, which you can see pictured there. That's an example of what it looks like, but that's exactly the way it looked, which is about 60 miles from Garbersville. And the details of all what happened then. So the person that dropped him off, to understand Mark was the type of individual that was very loving, very kind. He would, like I said, trade shoes with somebody. This was all not out of the character for Mark. However, the person that had dropped him off has changed his story about when he dropped him off, whether it was in September of 2017 or October of 2017. So his story has changed. So he has not been seen or heard from since. We do not know if he made it to see his child, because people are not really talking. They're not really cooperating, and stuff. So he has not been seen or heard from since. There is a possibility that he was last in Bloxburg, California area, which is about 28 miles from Garbersville, California, up in the mountain area on October 18th of 2017. He was well known in the Garberville area. There are multiple rumors surrounding his disappearance. Foul play is suspected in his case. If you have any information regarding Mark's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County, California Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251. And I want to show you guys the second one. And the reason I did this is so you could maybe see that Google Map area a little bit better. So if there's anybody that's out in that area, like I said, this area, I'm planning on going more in detail on it because there's so many people missing in this area. And there's a lot of connections with people with, like I said, up around like the Murder Mountain and stuff. I could give you a little side piece of that. So this was basically an area that back in like the 60s or whatever, people went there and they started marijuana growing farms and all sorts of different stuff. They've now made them where they're supposed to become legalized. A lot of people grew up in this area, but I mean, there is criminal activity that goes on. There's a lot of people that go there for jobs, want to be off the grid, all sorts of different things out there that makes this area, it's very wilderness. If somebody had an accident or something, it would take a lot, to get up there and to search, because it's like wooded areas, very, very thick locations. But also, a lot of property owners up there are very protective of their, land or, criminal activity sort of thing. So I just feel like a lot of cases in that area are not being covered. And like I said, I have several families that have reached out to me. I had already been covering cases, but I would like to cover a lot more of them if I can. This next case is another case out of Tulsa, Oklahoma on August 15th, 2023. This is Sebastian Chase Matero. He is 28 years old, 5'7", 130 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. So he had left his family's residence on tribal land, as reported in NamUs, to go live with somebody. And he has never been heard or seen again. Very little information out in his case. If you have any information regarding Sebastian's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department at 918-596-9143. All right. This next case is a case that I came across that I felt I couldn't find a whole lot on her, but this is Rachel Lee Cassidy. She's missing out of Youngstown, Ohio, November 16th, 2023, 40 years old, 5'6", 130 to 165 pounds, red auburn hair, green eyes. She does have a tattoo on her lower arm. That is the best picture that I could find to put up there. I am not for sure what it is. She is struggling with mental health issues and may need medical attention. She had been living homeless and was last seen in the Youngstown, Ohio on November 16th, 2023. She's known to frequent the south side of Youngstown and Warren. The last contact was November 15th, 2023, which was by law enforcement, and she was discharged from the St. Elizabeth around Thanksgiving. There's reporting on January 30th, 2024, there was possibly some sightings by acquaintances in the Youngstown area. However, it has not been confirmed to be her. If you have any information regarding Rachel's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Youngstown, Ohio Police Department at 330-747-7911. And I will get to your guys' comments here in just a little bit. This next case I have covered before, but I wanted to get him out again. This is Remus Yazzie. He's missing out of Farmington, New Mexico on January 5th, 2022. He was 29 years old at the time of his disappearance. He is now 31. 6 foot tall, 220 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo on the left side of his neck that says skate and destroy, and it looks like that in the picture. It's snooping on top of his house on the right forearm, and that's what it looks like. He is enrolled in Navajo Nation. For anybody that is new to my podcast, when you see that red handprint, that does signal that these are indigenous cases, people that are enrolled in different reservations and stuff. So that is how we are identifying them. He had been released from the hospital due to him and another person being in an accident. He had texted his mother possibly the same day or before the accident from a person's phone, possibly a girlfriend, but the loved ones don't know who she is, had never met her or know her name. The text said that he was going to a funeral in Gallup, New Mexico on January 5th of 2022. The last time family had physically seen him was New Year's Eve and early New Year's morning in 2022. There has been no further contact for Remus since that text on January 5th, 2022. So this is very out of the character for Remus to not have contact with his loved ones. He does not have a phone or an ID with him. He has not been active on social media. Remus is known to frequent the Brookside Park, Farmington Park, and enjoy skateboarding. There have been multiple searches for Remus. In one search, a partial body part, a hand, was located and confirmed to be Yazzie's. Now, law enforcement and family still they don't believe that he's deceased. They believe that he still very much can be alive. And that was something they really wanted me to point out by sharing this. He is still considered to be alive and missing, but they did confirm that that was his hand. If you have any information regarding Remus's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Farmington, New Mexico Police Department at 505-599-1070. And especially like on his case, I want people to know that just because they did find that, law enforcement very much still says they believe that he could be alive. So for whatever reason or whatever condition or whatever information that they have, they still believe that there is a possibility that he could still be alive. And I think people need to realize that that is still a possibility, and to not, you know, start making judgments or, you know, comments and stuff like that, um, that he may be deceased. Because, like I said, law enforcement still believes that he could be alive. This next case I have shared before. This is Shelton Richard Lamar Bennett. He's missing out of Laurel Hill, North Carolina on August 24th, 2023. He's 27 years old, 6'1", 185 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo, and you can see the pictures of it, of the angel ring on his back right side shoulder that goes over that right arm. He does wear the gold chains that you can see pictured there. He was last seen leaving his home in Rockingham Road wearing a pair of shorts and slides. It is reported that he was going just to meet someone down the road, which was about 5 minutes away. His vehicle, as you can see pictured there, that blue Dodge Charger, was later located on Butler Road, which is just off of Rockingham. He had left behind his wallet, and his keys and phone has never been found. His phone has been pinged several days after, but since then has not been able to ping it, whether the phone has been shut off or it lost battery. There have been search efforts, but neither Shelton or his personal items have been located. Foul play is suspected in his case. If you have any information regarding Shelton's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call the Scotland County, North Carolina Sheriff's Office at 910-266-4332 or Precision Search and Rescue at 910-840-1998. Okay. I need to pull up Michaela's because I did not pull her up. So I have one more case to share. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. This next case is a case that I cover every week. I will continue to cover this case. This is Dana Jane Bruce. She's missing out of Sedalia, Missouri on October 4th, 2008, 23 years old. At the time of her disappearance, she's now 38, 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, and green hazel eyes. She did have red highlights in her hair, and it was shoulder length and wavy with bangs. She is blind in her left eye. She has both of her ears pierced. She does have a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. She does have that tattoo that you can see pictured up there with the teddy bear with wings and the banner that it says Dylan. She was last seen wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel on the front in silver lettering and blue jeans. She was seen leaving her babysitter's home around 11:30, in between 11:30 and midnight, that she had went to give them more money to watch her kids for the rest of the evening because she was attending an anniversary party at Malone's Bar on Main Street there in Sedalia, where she was with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck. However, there is a white Ford truck that is involved in that as well. The night of her disappearance, he had said that once he had been talked to, because police did run him down. He was a contractor working in that area, but he was from Atlanta area. Police had questioned him because he had been arrested on unrelated charges. And he's never been named publicly, but they do call him a person of interest. And he said that they had parted ways after they left the bar, and he had never seen her again. However, it is known that she left the bar with other people, and that she was in a red F-450 truck with 2 males in the Sedalia area. And the understanding is they are still in the Sedalia area, left with them. And then them and other people had went to a nearby town and was at a house party, after party, whatever. And during that time, and this is people that were there have made statements and reports that she was administered a drug and she collapsed and that her body has been disposed of. That is what is being told. There's at least 7 individuals that are involved in her case, all very close to home. Um, there are people talking in her case that are close to these 7 individuals that are talking. There are people coming forward talking about the night that Dana disappeared, and more is coming out in her case. She had left behind her belongings, doesn't have a bank account, credit cards, phone, or vehicle. It is unknown if she had her ID at the time. She was known to be a very devoted mom, which she actually that day had signed a lease for a new place for her and her children. And she would never leave or abandon her kids. And that's one thing that I really want to point out about Dana and, her children, to know that she would never left them. They were her world. And despite what people may say, she was a loving mother. Despite any obstacles that were in her way or she came across, she still was very devoted to her children, and her children need to know that. Foul play is suspected in her disappearance. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance or her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-826-8100. One thing that I will tell you guys about Dana, the FBI had originally came in at the beginning of her case, and they searched like a concrete area in that construction area. With Dana's case, I'll keep saying, people out there know what happened. People that are very, very close to Dana and where she was can't release everything, but somebody knows something. Like I said, there's witnesses that have came forward, and there's people amongst this group of 7 people, and they know who they are, that are talking. And it's just really a matter of time. Like I said, more and more information is coming forward. It's time for people to come forward and be honest. Law enforcement knows the names. I know the names. I have no problem sharing that I know the names. I have not released the names. But at this point, I don't know how people could walk around and look at her children every day or every few days or every week or every month and not be honest about what happened to their mother. I strongly support the 2 kids. I will continue to share and work on finding out the truth of Dana's disappearance because of her children. They were young at the time of her disappearance. This has got to be so hard on children of missing parents, to think, at a young age, like, children are going to think, what did I do wrong? Like, why would my mom just leave me? And that's what I really want to point out about Dana. If her children are watching the podcast or anything, or people that are out there watching the podcast that know Dana loved her children. She loved them. She spent tons of times. There's tons of people that have came forward about how dedicated she was. This is a woman that signed a lease for a new place and disappears that day. The other tidbit on her case too, whether it's related or not for sure, but it's very interesting. Conveniently, the cameras weren't working at the bar. And the night, I believe, after Dana disappeared, a girl in the Sedalia area was raped at Maloney's bar. And nothing has been done about that. Whether it's connected or not, there's a possibility, but people felt that is something that needs to be shared out there. The fact that the red truck, the 2 men from the Sedalia area, I'm not talking about the guy from Georgia that took her to the babysitters. I'm talking about the 2 men that took her after the bar that were seen, the 5 to 7 other individuals that were around. You guys know something, and you know that it's just a matter of time. Like I said, people are talking that are close to that group. People are coming forward. They are talking. They are sharing information, and all the information is coming together. So it's a matter of time. People need to realize that, the sooner you tell the truth, the sooner things can be solved. And like I said, I don't understand how these people can sit there and look at her children and not say anything. So, like I said, I will continue to share Dana's case. I share different stuff back and forth, but it's all the same. Somebody knows what happened to her the night at that house. Somebody knows where they put her, and it's time to come forward. And it is a matter of time before we do get her located. And I do believe that it will. I do believe it will happen soon. So, someone said, yeah, Dana loved her kids, was always with them. Yeah. And I've heard that from several people, not just you, Ellen. I've heard that from several people, that she was a very loving mom. You're welcome. I will continue to share. I do know her birthday's coming up, and it will, like I said, like she had said earlier, this is going on 16 years. I just don't know how, I feel for these families and stuff. So that's the cases that I have tonight to share with you guys. Wait a second. Someone just put a comment. So Lisa is talking about Becca's case. So like I said, there is a person of interest. There's a lot of evidence on her case. I will tell you guys that I will not put that out there unless law enforcement allows me to. Now, there are cases that I do have names that are out there, or I'll just use a first name, or I'll say a friend or something like that. Because like I said, I'm not a judge, I'm not the jury, I'm not law enforcement, but I do dig into cases. So I do believe that people are innocent until proven guilty. I know some people may want to argue with me about it, and that's fine. But the other thing is law enforcement does not want these people out on the streets if they've caused harm to somebody. They don't want them out on the street. We also have to realize that they get one shot. They get one shot to convict people. And the sad reality in some of the cases that I've talked to families, not having a body, it's a hard way to get it. It can be done. I mean, there are people sitting in jail right now that the missing person is still missing, but they are serving time. It can happen. But you guys have to be really careful with the information that you put out on cases. I do agree, like in Becca's case, the person of interest knows what happened. I think there's other people that know too as well. And here's the other thing. I know people watch my podcast. I know there's people watching my podcast right now on certain cases, and that's fine. They can continue to watch. They can continue to do whatever, but just know that I will continue to share all these cases. I will continue to help the families find their missing loved one. I will continue to help law enforcement solve these cases and be able to bring people home. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing. And, if they want to set out here and watch me on Facebook, that's great. That's fine. But I want the families to know I will not stop talking about their cases. I will not stop not being a voice for them. You guys, you need that, and I don't want to see cases go cold. The more we keep these cases out, people always ask me, what's the best thing I can do? Share these flyers, be supportive of the families. I've had people tell me, I don't understand why, you do all this. I do it because I think I just want to do it. I feel like that's what my purpose is. That's what I should be doing. So all the new families that are out here today, if you have people that are harassing you, trying to scam you, anything like that, please reach out. Please reach out to your law enforcement. Let them know. There are reporting tools to the FBI. I do have all that out on Guardian. If you have questions or concerned, make sure that you always take screenshots of stuff, anything. if you see someone that you think is missing, and came up this week again, if you see someone who is missing and you think it's that missing person, take a picture of them. Take a picture of them. If you're on that family's page or whatever, send that picture to them. Send it to law enforcement. Because I saw I can't remember who it was, but someone said, "Hey, I think I saw this person," but they didn't take a picture. They just kind of gave a location of where, which is good. Don't get me wrong. That's good. But if you see someone that you think could be one of these missing persons, take a picture of it, send it to law enforcement. Let them check it out. I've done it myself. If I'm, doing research or whatever, and I see something, a profile, whatever, I'll send that stuff to law enforcement and let them look at it and contact families and stuff. You are welcome, Troy. And you again, Troy. Troy, I'm not going to stop looking for your daughter. I don't have her on my thing tonight, and I apologize for Troy. I will get her flyer up again. I must have accidentally removed it. But Troy's daughter is 17 years old. She's missing out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. She's been missing since right around Thanksgiving. And she had went for a walk around the block, and she hasn't been seen again. Now her phone pinged in front of a bar around 11 a.m. and hasn't pinged since. It is believed that she is still in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. But again, there's been a lot of stuff in her case that I can't share. But I will tell you with her case, Troy, if you want to put her name in the comments, that would be good for other people to. Yep, Caitlin Willery is her name. There's a high concern about her safety and her health. I cannot stress that enough about the concern about we need to get her located. That's all I can share at this point. But they do believe that she's still in Uniontown. If anybody has any information, like I said, Caitlin Willery is out on my platform. She's out clear across missing persons alert. I will reshare her back on the platform as well. But that's kind of Caitlin's story is, she went for a walk around the block. There was it was Thanksgiving time. She was supposed to come back, and then now she's disappeared. There was at one point that they thought that she had been seen, and that was confirmed that was not her. But again, like I said, there is things that point that she is still in Uniontown. So, like I said, you guys, all these flyers are out there, and everything. And so just make sure that you share them and be kind. And I feel like there was one other person that I was supposed to share, and I don't see his flyer on here. There it is. I do have one more case, you guys. I apologize. I have one more case. My computer's been crazy. So this case I'm going to cover this week, and I'm going to cover next week. But I told his family members that I would go ahead and share them. There are some more updates that I need to get on it that have just came in, but I wanted to go ahead and get him shared. This is Zachary Carey. He's missing out of Warwick City, Indiana, May 30th, 2023. He's 38 years old, 5'5", 250 to 280 pounds, brown hair and green eyes. He does wear prescription glasses. However, he may have sunglasses or safety glasses on. He did have a right ear surgery, and it was slightly smaller and closer to his head than his left ear. So you may notice that. He may have a beard or mustache or both. He does have multiple tattoos. As you can see, his forearm says he has a forearm sleeve, Laura on his neck in cursive, 51 on his left calf, 50 on the back of his right calf, a rose on his upper arm about above the forearm sleeve, and an upper left arm tattoo with a rose and ribbons with the name Jacqueline and the dates 9/82 and April 12, 2007. Inside his left up arm, he had vigilante justice in cursive and suicidal soldier on the back shoulder blades in Old English writing. So I gave the pictures as much as I could. They are out on the flyers. Like I said, I will cover him next week. Zachary does go by the name Zach, Ziggy, Zach, Zip Tie, Crazy Corey, Crazy 8, Marvin, Oliver Steele, or Superman. He has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, PTSD, bipolar, hyperglycemia, which is low blood sugar, and sleep apnea, and he is without his CPAP machine. He is to be without medication, and he has not had any refills since his disappearance. That's another good thing to point out, is checking to see if people have refilled their prescriptions. Zachary is very resourceful and has many skills such as metalwork, welding, farmhand, construction, factory, and fast food. He likes to work with his hands in physically demanding jobs. He does enjoy the outdoors and survivalist activities. He can find ways to survive in the wilderness. He could be walking around the railroad tracks, rivers, and creeks looking for rocks or crystals. He does enjoy listening to music. And as you can see, he has headphones there and listening on music with his headphones. However, his phone was located in Linville. There is concern for his safety and well-being. Zachary was last seen on Highway 68 near the Welcome to Linville sign wearing a black zip-up jacket with white letters on the back saying Lincoln Tech Welding, which you can see in that picture, blue jeans and a brown steel-toed boots, and then silver chain necklaces, which I showed some pictures of some of the necklaces he's been known to wear. He could be in the Vanderburg Dell area or Lincoln State Park. If you have any information regarding Zachary's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Warwick City, Indiana Sheriff's Office at 812-897-1200 or the Indiana State Patrol at 812-667-2079 or the Indiana Clearinghouse for the Missing at 800-831-8953. And like I said, I will cover him again next week because I did get some information shortly before I came on tonight. So I do want to go ahead and get that updated. That is the last case that I am going to cover. Again, I hope you guys are all well and everything for the families and the loved ones out there. Please reach out if you're having any issues, problems. If you just need someone to talk, I have no problem. You know, I've sat for hours on the phones with loved ones and stuff. You can always message. There's, like I said, great advocates, and my advocates are out here on the podcast right now. Put your your information out there and stuff, and we'll continue to help you guys get your information out there, help and support. If we need to contact law enforcement, if you're having problems, I have no problem calling law enforcement to help that process. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. I want to thank the families for sharing their loved one stories, allowing me to share their loved one stories and getting that information out. This podcast does go nationwide. Also, with families that got brought up today, if I make a flyer for your loved one, you most certainly can share it. You can share it. You can print it. That's what I do them for. The podcast is the same way. You can share those. You can share the podcast. Like I said, I do have a lot of projects going on right now that I'm hoping that I can get done. But if you're out there and there's cases that you feel like they need to be covered, or there's cases in your area that may or may not have something to do with your missing loved one, let me know. I will continue to get that out there. I hope you guys all have a blessed night.